What it do, listeners? How's everybody doing? What's going on? What's Gucci? We've been rolling like Limp Bizkit, y'all, through December. Again, the year just flying by, which is so crazy. But y'all, I'm not even gonna front. It is brick. That's what they say up here in the Northeast. So, I gotta get with the times. I have to be with the lingo. But y'all, it's cold. I am not even gonna front. Like, oh my God, why even is it so cold? Because it was not like this last winter. It was given, I could do a nice little tootsie roll around the block, go get my coffee, have on my sweater and, a layer or two and be all right. But yesterday, oh my goodness, your girl enjoys the cold, but we need all the proper garments to enjoy it. And I do feel that yesterday I was missing some key elements. I.e. gloves, I.e. some long johns. And girl, I felt like I was frozen like Jack Nicholson at the end of The Shining, y'all. Just walking a block. So word to your mother, please, when you go outside, or first of all, check the weather. Just don't assume that, oh, it's going to be a nice little 40, a little 30, whatever. Sometimes it's going to be 20, 10 degrees. But, we still did our walk. We still pushed through because that's how a hot girl does it. And to be honest, like I have to get outside when I can, especially living here because you can see everything, girl. The hotties, new food restaurants, etc. But I love going to a park because I feel like that's like the perfect place to detach between all this AI and machinery and everything else that we got going on. I feel like you got to find some type of hobby outside. You got to get away from it all. Archery or something. That's not really a trade. That's a hobby. But, just something to just get me anti-dependent on technology because I feel like that's the route that we're going. And I want us to like remember how it was in the 90s where we used to go play outside for 3 hours or so before it was dinner. You know what I mean? Now I feel like everything is glued to their phone, especially you pet parents. I be seeing y'all at the dog parks, not paying no attention to your dogs, looking at your phone the whole time. Them dogs can see you. So we got to do better, as I say this, using all the technology to edit and get this chat show to y'all. So listen to what I say, not as I do. No, but y'all know what I mean. You can have all the screen time, yeah, but you got to get that IRL time too. So don't be merging with the AI and all that. Don't let that become a part of your cells. Don't let them recode your cells. I sound like one of them old heads. Speaking of heads, I got a name for our group chat, y'all. Eventually coming soon, possibly on Discord, possibly on Instagram, somewhere. Popheads Anonymous. Like, the amount of times I said, first of all, the amount of times I said but the amount of times I said popheads in the very first few episodes, why not? But I love how this is all just evolving in real time. A couple of y'all actually said that y'all would get the popheads merch. So I'm like, come on, let's build on this popheads things. And I love it. But this has just been also just such a great getaway from the hustle and bustle of like work, life, etc. So I hope that y'all feel that. And I hope that I'm also giving that to y'all. Again, this is the weekly wind down, y'all. So y'all supposed to be winding down with me. I'm not saying you got to have a glass of wine. You could be washing your dishes. You could be folding your laundry. You could be walking the dog. Just doing what you got to do. But I hope that I'm bringing peace and joy the same way that cultivating this community is doing for me. Yeah. Not me acting all sappy and stuff like that. Like I just celebrated 100 episodes. I am dead. Anywho, today's topic kind of came out of nowhere, but honestly, I do feel that this was like a slow burner, a slow creeper on my brain for like literally the last decade. But I got a question. Has social media, and in particularly TikTok, has it killed the music video star? Are music videos finally fading out as being like that iconic moment for every pop star's career that they got to have at least a good 4 to 5 memorable moments from a music video under their belt before they fade off into the abyss of the unknown? It's just crazy to me because growing up, music videos and the singles also chosen for the music videos were like so coveted amongst the teams from artists and amongst us, I do feel like, as the pop music lovers. And I will also say too, like the general public, the same way with the radio, people would know songs, they wouldn't know the artist or whatever, but they could sing those songs down. The general public was a little privy to what was hot. And I do think that that was based off of the success of how cool your music video was. And now it just seems like it's like a side dish on your dinner plate. Like the music video is just there. Yeah, if you want to do a music video, you just can. Maybe if that a side dish, just giving gravy. It's gravy. It's giving gravy. I love how the British people say there's this girl on TikTok. She be making some Nancy British food, but I love how she says gravy. She says it like Mel B she must be from Manchester. That's a great example too. Even the Spice Girls. Spice Girls was giving us iconic music videos, 4 to 5 of them on each album. And mind you, at that time, albums was coming with like 10, 11 songs. So the half of the songs they would want to have like a banging music video to. They knew that the visual was so important in selling the already amazing good music. I think that's also a good factor. Like, the quality of music is worth you investing hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars into the visual because you know the song is that good. Maybe people are feeling now in 2025 that the music is not all that, or maybe they have so many hits on their hands that they want to divvy up the money pot. I'm not quite sure. But I just miss those times where everybody wanted to have the music video. Like, think about it. How did MTV go from groundbreaking new genres, new music videos, new artists? How did we go from that to Teen Mom? We got lost in the sauce as curators and directors at the business side, and then we also got lost in the sauce as consumers for accepting that. On music television, we said reality television is going to be like the takeover. I did still always find a way, as a bona fide pop hit, still find a way to get put onto new music, because a lot of the times, like right before a commercial break or whatever, they would say this song that was used during this segment of the show was performed by blah, blah, blah. And I would always journal it down and go do research on who the artist was. So even that's the type of curation still needs to be put out there, because I feel like we as consumers are missing out on so much because we done open up the floodgates thanks to social media. I was actually privy to this when I first moved to LA. That was one of the first things I noticed. I thought everything was going to stay very commercialized, like the Disney Channel, Nickelodeon. You had your networks, etc. You had your music labels, and those were the routes to go. And then as soon as I got to LA, everything switched over to influencers. It was about how many followers you had, and if you had, and mind you, back then everybody was buying all their followers. But if you had 50,000 followers, you could get into events, you could walk these red carpets, you could do all of that. And I was there at its inception, and I've watched it grow to this point where it now controls the wave. It controls how we consume media, and social media is number one. I'm going to say people probably go on TikTok probably before they go to like a Vivo. And so like these artists, yeah, they're putting their stuff on Vivo, but a lot of them are also saying, yes, I released a music video. I'm going to cut it up in 2 to 3 different parts and also put it on Instagram and hope that it gets seen and hope that it generates some type of response in the comments from the culture, the consumers, which has been a great method for artists, I would say, like Kehlani, Victoria Monet, the ones that are like bubbling up. But for those established artists outside of the witch herself, Miss Taylor Swift, let me be nice, I just do not see that the iconic artists, the artists that we know that have even the biggest budgets and that could put out music videos, they not even doing that. I think they know that Ciara is also doing this. She does like 10 little mini videos dancing and doing her little Matrix back bend on TikTok and on Instagram. And I know that's making more of a wave, or it's probably getting more like conversions to her streams than her spending $100,000 on a music video that, I'm sorry, people would probably watch 45 seconds of it and then move on to their favorite YouTuber doing a vlog or watching a mukbang. It's just so crazy how we have changed as consumers in digesting musical content. Like, we think of it as just like a jingle. But even back then in the 90s, we had Family Matters and them. They had like good TV jingles or whatever. If they were on the radio, people would sing those down too. So it's not even that, because we can't even get hooked on the song yet. We don't even know how the song goes. Yeah, and back then, y'all, they used to be even spending like Janet Jackson $2 million on music videos with Busta Rhymes using like state-of-the-art CGI at that time. Stuff like that. Oh, I'm so glad that I was able to witness it. I do feel that music is like one of the only true factors that we have that represents time or our movement through it, because artists are lucky to get $2 million for 5 years, 10 years budget. No more 5 music video rollouts. We're lucky if we get 1 or 2. Even Gaga. Gaga was going crazy during the Fame Monster era. We was getting the most iconic music videos. They was definitely giving high budget. All the dancers in the world, she used to be having like 50 dancers. I guess she did that with Abracadabra, but look at that. I think we maybe only got 2 music videos, maybe 3 from this latest release that came out. It's very interesting also to observe like the new identity of celebrities and musicians wanting to fit in with influencers and how influencers are being propped up. And I think that has to do with parasocial relationships and the interactions with the fans is so push and pull, and you have to get into that way or you're going to be left behind. And celebrities and influencers are on literally the same highway. They're going the same direction on the same highway, and they walk a very same path. It's like they've morphed into mirror images of each other, and it's just interesting to watch some of them that were told in the 90s and the 2000s, you need to be aloof, you need to be standoffish. You sign an autograph and you run away and you run into your Escalade. Well, now they're starting to notice that no, you need to stay behind. You need to sign those autographs. You need to take the selfies with the fans, because if you don't, you're going to get lost behind. You're going to get washed away. And that's so interesting. Like, I almost feel bad. It's like you went to university and you studied for years on this is the way it's going to be. And then because of social media and because of how we digest media content, you now have to shift your whole demeanor and open yourself up. And some artists are very nervous, very shy people. They don't have that type of gene to be introverted or extroverted and go out of their way to be social, which is why they probably create great art. A lot of them probably are neurodivergent or a little quirky, a little different, a little standoffish, they just have their own vibe going on. So it's so funny that now this is how you have to sell yourself, is by being almost influencer-esque. We see them hopping on. As soon as Jules dropped out very demure, I can't tell you how many artists were like using that sound to promote their products or their new music or whatever was going on. It's just such a crazy circle wave that I'm watching, like how everything is blending together. They're still trying to keep all the categories separate. We're still like seeing, especially on red carpets, first they'll have like all the celebrities walk, then they'll have the influencers go. But pretty soon, I'm giving it maybe 5 to 10 years, y'all, I do feel like it's going to end up merging into kind of like a one collective unit. And we're watching it in real time. That's something that we should also not take for granted. We're seeing this all evolve in front of our eyes in real time. I just hope that the waters don't get muddied out. We should still have, distinct characteristics of what makes what, and not let trying to go viral off of a 15-second or a minute video on TikTok be the determining factor of the outcome of your art, because it's so much more than that. It's crazy. Like, we be expecting our faves to sit there and like respond in the comments because we're so used to the streamers sitting there on live for 12 and 15 hours responding to every single comment that they see in chat. So as consumers, we're so used to getting that response instantaneously almost, that now we expect that from our favorite celebs. And my thing is, I don't want it to become forced. I can't tell y'all how many like crazy IRL experiences I've had with some of my favorite artists. Nathan Sykes is someone that is top of mind. Janet Jackson. Those IRL experiences, that they're one of a kind. And I feel that sometimes you don't need to sit there online and berate these people when maybe you can just go to their meet and greet. Save up for that meet and greet. It might take a year to afford it, but it's worth to like chat with them and like really express genuinely how you feel about them, instead of expecting or having the same expectations that we do for streamers and influencers. Maybe, I don't know, but it is kind of cool to like, I was just chatting with Leslie Grace from In the Heights in her comments, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, you just get on your work break and someone that you listen to every single day is commenting with you. Like, okay, this is kind of cool. So I don't know. What a paradoxical demand. It's almost as if like consumers are like demanding to know the tea of all these people before they invest their coins, maybe. And that could be after effect of this capitalistic society that nobody was thinking about, especially for millennial and Gen Z generations, because ain't nobody teach us ish. And even if we talk about investing into the artist, the music isn't what people are wanting to buy from the artist. It's the performance of the music, going to the concert. It's the merch, being able to like rep the artist, but it's not the songs. And maybe that's because of like streaming services. Like, we've just been so hooked and feeling like we have all access to just hop on Apple Music, hop on Spotify, and just listen to what we want, that we don't think of a new album release or a new song release, a new music video being released as something worthwhile or interesting anymore, which is so crazy to me. But people cannot wait for the tour. They can't, maybe because people know that at concerts, those frequencies and those shows are just something so different and so magical. I got to see Spice Girls at Wembley in 2019. Oh my God, nothing like that. I've never been able to experience anything like that since then, and I miss that high. But I don't think that music or the music videos should turn into the accessories when they used to be the foundations. It's like star power, social media power, clouds, all that kind of stuff that came way after, but now it has the biggest percentage in the pie. Maybe if we had like better curation, like I already did this rant on MTV, but there's got to be a better way to curate or break people through besides like the shade room. We already know they're even biased and they're only going to promote certain people that are like on their payroll or like Pop Grave. Like you can tell the difference from when they're trying to like launch somebody on that account and that person paid their $10,000, or if it's genuinely talked about. Because like, for instance, Girl Set's new release for Little Miss, I felt like that was a genuine cultural people were talking about that in the comments, and it boosted their momentum up for people to be wanting to talk about it on the blogs. But we need more like mainstream musical third-party spaces where people can launch their music. It can be underground. It doesn't even have to be like through a corporation. When I was little, PBS used to be having like little like underground music shows and stuff like that, and I would find artists from like South Florida. It doesn't even have to be on a corporate vibe, but just areas where people know that, hey, I have this piece of art. I want it to reach an audience of consumers that I also know that likes art. We got to bring that kind of vibe back, because it's just turning into let's film, let's shoot, let's release, and hope for vitality, hope for people being hooked. That's not it. Like we're losing the art form. We're losing the creativity. We're losing the moments that Madonna and Michael Jackson, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, everybody used to give these great storytelling, powerful music videos. And back in the day, you could rely on these channels, VH1, BET, MCV, to be playing the music video at least 4 to 6 times a day. So it made you want to watch it again. Now, sometimes I feel like we've had enough after one view. And please don't take this as if I'm trying to like dog out social media, y'all. I love social media. It's kept me afloat in some of my hardest times. I met some of my closest friends off of social media. It's just this evolution has particularly changed the trajectory of how we consume my favorite subject, which is music. And so sometimes I just get passionate about it, or just the observation of how this is all going. And it's not that I'm worried about the future. I'm just curious as like what is the direction that we're heading, because we cannot lose the art. Think about like people used to travel to Timbuktu back in the day to go see like their favorite opera, and they only got to see that maybe like once every 2 years. You know what I mean? And now because of the commodification of music, everything is so accessible. We're just like throwing it away to the wayside. People are not putting even effort into like their songwriting or trying to get the best mixes, the best production, because they know that in 2 weeks they're gonna have to release another single, because you just got to keep buzz and you got to keep momentum and you got to keep hype. When I think if we just reverse back a little bit and we went back to the glory days of like really trying to break a record, shout out to Raven Lene. Her record is just charting after a year of its being released. I like that. I like you knowing that a record is so good and I'm going to put all my effort into this because I know it's worth it. We need to tease that back into the ethos. And then we also got to bring back the curators. We got to bring back the people that are breaking through things. And that's what I'm hoping that this is going to do. Like I said, I cannot wait from like a year or two from now when we have our millions and millions of people listening. And I know that the power of my voice is also going to be able to break through some independent, some new artists, some even older artists that are having new releases and they're having a hard time cracking through to the consumers. I know that this is going to be powerful. Someone said online, which I also kind of agree with, is that we were not supposed to have this amount of attention as human beings. Like we weren't supposed to have this amount of access of knowing this amount of people around the globe. And that's something very new to us as humans. I know it sounds crazy, but y'all got to think about it. Like you can go on Snapchat right now and go and zoom in onto Zimbabwe and click on the city story and watch what the people are having for lunch. Like that is so wild. Isn't that wild? Like we can monitor everything. So to know that your content, your music video, your music has the potential to reach millions instantaneously or even within like a 3 to 7 day period, simply by just using technology, it sounds like a brilliant idea in theory, y'all. In theory. But I do feel like it messes with the overall mental of craving to be desired. And then when things don't necessarily hit your benchmark, then people start devaluing their art. They start devaluing who they are as an artist, what they can bring to the table. And I think that's where things get messy. That's where things get into this, no, get back into the 90s where they used to lock themselves in rooms and just write and throw paint on the wall and just figure out how they want it to be. Because that's how we got our Torns and our Savage Gardens and just so many amazing artists that I can tell like they put time into our Swedish pop groups, ABBA. I know they weren't 90s, but Ace of Base, like you could tell these people knew that they was going to create some magic no matter what it took. And I need that tenacity, y'all, from my artists, please. I feel like that's why people are always gravitating towards that one oddball. Like people loved when Chaperone broke out 2 years ago because we love seeing the avant-garde oddball presents it. But just knowing, if we think about it, this cycles through every single 8 to 10 years. This happens every single decade. And it's no shade to her. I'm just saying it's because we're craving that originality. We're craving those people that are being the revolutionaries. It's a thing where if you look at it from an artist's point of view, you have the Picasso, and then you have every single painter in that city, in that country, in that continent trying to paint like Picasso, and then Van Gogh came along or somebody else that don't paint like Picasso comes along. They look like a shining light. And I just hope my words are inspiring those that are in any type of art to just go down the path of originality. That is going to catch a wave and have it a little more everlasting and eternal and worthwhile and rooted than trying to copy the trends that we see right now, because these trends are going so fast. They're going faster faster than this damn year. It's just like that isn't the best place to put all your eggs in the baskets. And then we're listening to like the new Gen Z artists, and I love them to death, but we got artists like Pink Panthers talking about songs don't need to be longer than 2 minutes. Like, this is truly the direction that we're happening. What are you talking about? Some of my favorite Stevie Wonder songs are 6 minutes, 8 minutes long. Stairway to Heaven, y'all. That is what got to be 8 to 9 minutes long. Who are you? Who? That song long as hell too. Like, some of our best records came from expressive long records. And I get it. I get that people consume things and different generations consume things differently. But I think as much as people love to sample and reflect back on previous times, they could definitely reflect on prioritizing originality in their art, especially their music and their music videos. We also got to talk about the storytelling, because maybe they know that these songs are not going to be sticking to the charts like they used to back in the days. Some of the storytelling, the songwriting is not giving something that's memorable or that people want to listen to over and over again. And I'm mainly pointing out millennials and Gen Zs because I feel like older people love a record that has some type of meaning. We talking about Let's Stay Together, what's going on, like the 70s, 60s, 70s, they had it on a lot. Even the 80s, Sade's songwriting, oh my God, impeccable. A New Edition, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, all them, they knew how to give it. But now I feel like it's turned into an era of like Ice Spice. 1+1 is 2, and I got the flute. And you like to poop. Like, no shade, but it's like, it's giving Dr. Seuss. And I need our writers, or I need the type of consumers that want to digest true storytelling to step up to the forefront and prioritize artists that are also trying to tell a story or something a little bit more meaningful, or something even with a little bit more swag. Because you can also see this in the rap genre as well, not only pop. We used to have Mos Def and Q-Tip and those type of rappers. And then you also had the Juveniles and some of the people that like to get ratchet, mystical. But at least there was different subgenres that were within it. Now everything is just, again, becoming very easy on the ear, and it's not challenging the consumer to use their brain to figure out what some of these songwriters are. I remember Mariah Carey, y'all, she used to be using these big old words when I used to listen to her. And I'm like, what is she talking about? But it would make me go in the dictionary and research the word. Like, I think that's what music should be doing. You know, some writers that I do feel like are doing this, I definitely love Me 7th Streeter. She has been killing the pen game for well over 2 decades now. I love Nova Wave. Oh my gosh, so good, so good, so good. We always talk about Julia Michaels, Justin Tranter, but I don't want mediocrity to be thriving. That shouldn't be the standard of pop culture, pop music. And you can tell that's the thing because, again, maybe it is shade to Taylor Swift, but even she not sticking, y'all. Confessions of a Showgirl, that didn't even have more than 4 weeks of momentum. And typically she be riding a good 6 to 8 months. That lady, she used to be taking over the whole dang year calendar to the point where people didn't want to put out a release because they knew Taylor was about to release. And now even this last release didn't really stick. I'm rooting for my girl Cardi. I know she was real smart by integrating Up and WAP and all that into the release of Am I the Drama? But I would also say that had a wave of about 5 weeks and then kind of dudded out as well. We have changed so much. Our consumer habits have changed so much since COVID. And then you go back to when I was 9 years old or 10, and Sync releases No Strings Attached. On their first day, they sold 1.2 million physical copies, which means 1.2 million humans went out and bought that CD. Artists could never in this era, they could never imagine something like that. And so we really have to access our willpower, y'all. We got to realize that we are the ones that actually control this. Our interests actually control this. And we need to push our favorite artists to really be putting forth their art in the best way that they can and be really investing into what they can. Not everything got to be rushed and always trying to be in a competition to go viral, especially when going viral is not giving how Ellen did. You used to pick your nose, you could get on the Ellen show. No, not saying that. But it's just like we have nothing like that no more. It's just like it happens and then it goes. Is virality worth it at the end of the day if that's how it's going to be? But yeah, again, if I do be coming across all preachy and stuff like that, it's just because I be very passionate about my pop, y'all. So I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. We have some really cool vibes come in. I be having so much fun editing this. Like, this is one project that I can say that has been the most fun that I've done. So if you can, please, please, please give us a rating. Give us a 5-star rating. Please share this with someone that you know loves in some pop culture, because I definitely feel like I'm dropping the words of wisdom that people need to hear. I gotta get heard, and I know y'all can help me with that. So yeah, I appreciate y'all, and until next time, this is Jer Bear signing out of the Weekly Rundown. Holla!